freaking first cut. Golly. Hello, YouTube. There's a heavyweight battle going on at the top of the leaderboard of the Rocket Mortgage Classic. 18 holes to go. We'll break it all down, look at the live odds and more. Hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. We'll get started right now. Welcome to the First Cut Podcast. I'm Rick Gaiman, and he's back. It's him. It's Kyle Porter, KP. Welcome. Good to see you.
I am back for one day. I'm out again tomorrow, but had a great week really off in Colorado. Went fishing a ton with the kids, and I jumped back into kind of a big golf weekend. I'm watching the U.S. Junior Am right now. Obviously, live at Bedminster, and then the tournament that we're going to talk about, the Rocket Mortgage Classic, Scottish Women's Open as well. I've been keeping an eye on that, so it's been really kind of a fun week to jump back in. So let's do it.
Business is booming, as they say. Two at the top. Taylor Pendrith was our 36-hole leader, shot a 6 under 66 out of the final group, KP, and got caught by Tony Finau. Just to kind of zoom out a little bit, Tony Finau going for back-to-back wins. Taylor Pendrith going for his first career victory. They're 4 shots clear of everybody else, and they're kind of dismantling Detroit Golf Club in a way we've seen guys dismantle Detroit Golf Club.
Yeah, they are. I think it was a best ball 60 from those two on Saturday.
That's 30.
They were ham and egging. They were birdieing different holes. I think they had maybe 2 bogeys. I think Pendrith actually had 2. But it's been impressive. I mean, do you think Data Golf has it at like 92% that the winner comes out of the final pairing on Sunday? Is that how high your confidence is as well? Would you is that commensurate with how confident you are that the winner comes from the final pairing?
For sure. Yes, but I have felt that way at the PGA Championship. I have felt that way at Valspar, right? Like, I always feel like when they're 4 shots clear and there's 2 of them, it's over. Like, one of those guys is winning it. So yes, my confidence feels that way, but I'm not necessarily sure that's what we've seen on the PGA Tour, at least as of late.
Yeah, I think, you know, who are the co-leaders going in at Southern Hills the final day? Was it Cam Young and
Mito, right?
And were those the 2 in the final pairing?
I can find out. Mito was
Mito for sure was.
Yeah.
I think it was Mito and Cam Young. I think it's a little different when obviously Pendrith doesn't have the PGA Tour experience, right? And his only wins have come on PGA Tour Canada back in 2019. I mean, he won some, you know, as far as professional golf goes, some pretty obscure tournaments. And so if you had 2 Taylor Pendriths up there, for sure, like maybe you can talk yourself into like a Cantlay or a Cam Young or Steven Yeager or whatever. But with Finau up there and the way he's playing right now, I mean, we can get into some of the Finau numbers. They're absurd over the last 2 weeks, over the last 2 months, really 3 months, I guess, dating back to the Mexico Open where he finished T2 to Jon Rahm. So I don't know. He's number 3 on the PGA Tour this year in final round scoring average. Finau is. So it is tough for me to see any of those guys behind them unless they shoot something silly like 63, 64 which is on the table for sure. But I'm with you. I think my confidence is 92% that the winner comes out of the final pairing.
Mito Pereira and Matt Fitzpatrick were the
Fitzy,
final.
that's right. Man, Fitzy looked so bad that day, and then he won the U.S. Open.
It's crazy, right?
It's a stupid game.
All right, let's start with Tony Finau. It was a Saturday 65, 7 under par, bogey free, which is becoming a trend. He has not made a bogey this week. He's made 3 bogeys in his last 7 rounds. That includes his victory last week at the 3M Open. Let's just start with the rounds, KP, before we talk about what this kind of looks like if he does end up hoisting a trophy. He was flawless, right? I mean, he missed 2 greens. One of them was a par 3 greenside bunker, which he got up and down, and the other one he chipped in. Like,
yep.
It's like about as good as it gets.
It was. I was looking at some of his numbers afterward, and you know, he made one long, or not even long, but he made one decent sized putt for par, and that's it. Everything else was either a run at birdie or a short par putt. And the thing I was thinking about Rick during his round, I'm watching a bunch of different stuff, and I'm catching a good part of his round is he's not Tony Finau's not the best player in the world. He's obviously not the best winner in the world, but he makes golf at the highest level look simple and as easy as anybody in the world. Like when he's I mean, even the drive on 18 over the trees, and he leaves himself a kind of a flippy wedge in, and you're just like, but it's not just the driving. I think when people think of Finau, they think, okay, prolific driver. The way he kind of lags with his driver is just sweet looking, but it's also, and Colt Knost mentioned this, his like the spin on his wedges and his irons are just, it looks so effortless. And that's why it was such a weird start to the year. I think from January 1 to April 27, which is the Wednesday before the Mexico Open starts, he was 71st in the world, Rick, in strokes gained, which is just pretty unusual for Finau. He's been really consistently in that top 15, top 20 over the last 6, 7, 8 years. But from the Mexico Open until through the end of last week's 3M, he's 4th in the world in strokes gained. I think it's Rory, Fitzpatrick, and Xander Schauffele are ahead of him. Those are the only 3 guys. He's 4th over the last, what is that, major 3 months, 90 days basically. And to me, that's more commensurate with what his skill set is, and it's been super fun to watch. I think watching Finau play good golf is it's not the most thrilling thing on the PGA Tour, but I think it's up there. I mean, I think he's a ton of fun to watch kind of operate at this level.
Imagine the takes and things that will have to be burned if Finau goes back to back, right? So he goes 1,500 days between wins, then he goes 335 days between wins. Now he might go less than 7, right? If you go, I guess Sunday to Sunday, 7 days.
Well, he would go. Yeah, I think it's 8 technically. So he basically had 2 wins in his first 8 years as a pro, and he could have 2 more in his last 8 days as a pro, was the way that I worded it, I think, in my recap, which is, they're not the best events in the world, but I think the thing, I don't know if, the FedEx Cup is what it is, but if he win, even if he doesn't win tomorrow, he's going to be one of the favorites, right, to win it with the way he's playing right now.
Well, yeah, because we've seen, obviously the starting position is going to matter at the Tour Championship, but like just getting hot at the right time is so much of winning the FedEx Cup playoffs. And he would, he'd move up to like at least 7th, I think, if he wins this, and then he's got a couple of playoff events. Yeah, you could very well have him in the mix, and then as long as he's like within the top 5 at East Lake, he's got to be considered one of the favorites.
Yeah, I'm looking on Caesars right now. I don't see any of. I'm sure they do have odds. I just am not finding them. But yeah, I mean his game right now is as good, I think, as it's ever been. And it's golf is so weird because you've got you've got guys that have played better than him throughout the year, guys like Zalatoris and Shane Lowry, even Cam Young. Maybe we can transition into some of the Cam Young stuff that haven't won at all, and yet you just, and I think this is what we're kind of talking about with the last couple of weeks. You get hot, really hot at the right time, and you can rip off a couple in a row, and that's just sort of the nature of it. And it's unfair, but it's also, it is fair because you know what the deal is going in, and Finau's been pretty awesome at it over the last several months.
We'll get to Cam Young in just 1 second. Taylor Pendrith tied at the top of the leaderboard. It was a Saturday 66. I was impressed, KP. You're kind of, you're ranked outside the top 200 in the world. You are going up against the Tony Finau buzzsaw at the moment. If he didn't exist, you'd be 4 shots clear of everybody else, and he rallied with birdies on 14, 15, 16, got another on 18. He had a couple of putts that a half a rotation, he drops into more. Like, I was pretty impressed by his ability to weather the storm and keep himself at the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, I was too. I mean, obviously he's a prolific driver. My one and done pick, by the way. How about that?
Yes. listen, you and I would. I have an outright ticket, a pre-tournament outright ticket. You have them in the one and done. This is a Team Pendrith pod right now.
I made. So I was on vacation and I was like, had, 10 minutes left, had to get a pick in, and I made my pick. And then later on I saw you had something, you had a tweet, or maybe it was in your newsletter or something. Yeah, about Pendrith. And I was feeling great about it, which I usually shouldn't about my one and done. But I think obviously his driving is what sort of makes him like I don't want to say a threat, but has made him who he is as a professional golfer. But the thing for me this week is his iron play. I think he's 8th in the field or something in terms of iron play. And that, like, when you combine what who he is off the tee with a really good iron week, again, you don't have to be the number one putter in the field to contend. So I think it's been, and it's been a little bit of what we've seen over the last, month or 6 weeks or whatever, where he's kind of putting together some top 15, top 10 finishes. And in a lesser field this week, I think it makes some sense, which is why we were high on him at the beginning of the week. It makes some sense that he would have a good week and contend to win the tournament.
He's 10th off the tee, 2nd on approach, 41st around the green, and 1st in putting. How is he not 8 shots clear of everyone else?
Well, because Finau's out of his mind. I mean, I think Finau's 1st in driving this week.
So Finau's, he's second. Finau's 2nd off the tee. So Finau's 1st tee to green and 10th putting. So like that's there you go. That's how he's not putting.
That's why they're 4 clear of the field.
Yeah, correct. Cam Young, closest chaser. He is solo 3rd. He's 4 shots back. He will rue his Thursday 71 because he shot a Friday 63, a Saturday 65, and he has just stapled himself to the first page of every leaderboard.
If you look at my Jordan Spieth poster back here, by the way, you can see kids jumping on the trampoline in my.
Oh, I saw. What did I see one time? Like, I don't know. Do you have like a kid on like what are those motorized cars called?
Oh no, we don't have any of those. We have like.
I thought I saw something and I was like, yeah, there's. I see the kids in the trampoline.
Non-motorized cars, which may have been what you've seen. Man, Cam, I think about the word deserve a lot in golf. Like so-and-so deserves X. And it's a fallacy because the only person that deserves to win is the person that wins, right? But if that wasn't a fallacy, you would have to say that Cam Young deserves to win this, or not this tournament, but a tournament soon. He's been unbelievable this year, Rick. He's 14th in 2022 in terms of strokes gained worldwide. The only guys that are better than that haven't won are Zalatoris and Shane Lowry. I mean, he's been, he finishes runner-up at the Open. Obviously, was great at the PGA. He's got 4 top 3s in his last 7 starts, and he just runs into weeks like this week where Finau and Taylor Pendrith are so much better than the rest of the field. But I don't know. If there's somebody that can shoot 63 and come from behind to win on Sunday, this is probably who it is. Cantlake could do it. He's a little bit too far back, I think. Steven Yeager could do it. Cam Young's more likely. I think Cam Young sort of, without any reins on him on Sunday, is going to be pretty fun to watch because he's in a position where I don't think he really cares about finishing second, but he does about winning. And so he's going to be kind of unleashed a little bit, which I think is going to be exciting to follow on Sunday.
And he also doesn't care about finishing like 7th either.
Right.
Yeah. By the way, Cam Young, if everything stays the same, will be top 10 in the FedEx Cup standings.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's the rookie of the year unless Sahith wins.
Oh, it's not close.
I think it. No. Well, what if Sahith? I don't know if Sahith's in the field next week. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
He's got like runner-ups at 2 majors, doesn't he?
I think he was 4th at the PGA
and runner-up at the Open Championship and like a bunch of other stuff. Well, and what's Sahith's best finish? Well, it would be. Win.
Yeah, it would have been a win. 2nd at Travelers, 2nd at Phoenix, or 3rd at Phoenix, I guess. But I mean, listen, we showed last year that we don't Well, I guess Cantlay won 4 times. But
Okay.
but what I was going to say is we showed last year that we don't care about major championship finishes when it comes to
That's true.
players of the year on the PGA Tour.
Runner-up at the Open, third at the PGA Championship, runner-up at Wells Fargo,
runner-up at Riviera.
That's the one. Yeah. And then he throws in a third place finish at the RBC Heritage and a runner-up at the Sanderson Farms, the illustrious.
If this was, well, I guess it's not that much different, but he's going to be on the President's Cup team, right?
There's a I looked at the standings like 2 weeks ago. There's a chance he earns his way on, right?
Yeah, I would think, especially with Bryson Brooks and DJ out. I would have, even
if he doesn't, he has to be on the team
for sure
because he's got a sick match play skill set too.
You could make the case that Cam Young is a I wonder what he's ranked in the Data Golf rankings. You can make the case that he is a top 10 player in the world right now.
Wow, he's 13th in the President's Cup points.
How?
I don't know. What's the running? I don't know what the dates are, but I mean, he like Hoagie's ahead of him, Horschel's ahead of him. He's got to be in over those guys.
How is that? Cam Young's ranked 32nd in Data Golf. How is this possible? How is he 13th in the President's Cup and 32nd in Data Golf? He's behind Keegan.
Yeah, Horschel's got to win. I don't know. There's a lot of disrespect here.
Yeah, he's 19th in the OWGR, by the way. I forget tomorrow because I think that Finau and Pendrith one of them is going to win. I think it'd be pretty cool if Cam Young won either St. Jude or the I think BMW would be great. He would be top 3 or 4 going into the FedEx Cup. He again deserves is kind of a naughty word in golf, but like he sort of has played well enough to like. I think where he sits in terms of perception and even some of these rankings right now is not commensurate with how well he's played so far this year.
Agree. One final quick thing to do. We're going to look at the odds board, but first we're going to take a quick break and hear a word from our partners. And we're back. Our friends over at Caesars Sportsbook. As you can imagine, see this as a 2-horse race. Tony Finau, -140. Taylor Pendrith, +150. Cam Young, 4 shots back, 11-1. Patrick Cantlay, 6 shots back, 35-1. Steven Yeager, one of the Bubble Boys, 5 shots back, 70-1. And friend of the pod, Scott Stallings, 7 shots back, 150-1. I don't think friend of the pod, Scott Stallings, is going to win tomorrow.
No, I don't either. That would be stunning. I mean, Finau is it's not a good number, right? You'd rather have Pendrith?
I would never bet. I would never bet the Finau number. If you made me make a bet, it would have to be Pendrith. Has to be. Cam Young at 11. I mean, this is very recency bias, but I swear, like this thing will get down to like it's not going to be 4 for the whole day, right? I feel like every single week there's a meltdown, or at least there's the leaderboard gravity, or at least somebody makes a run. Like that might just be my recency bias, but 4 doesn't feel like a lot anymore.
Yeah, I think the problem is there I think the question is there a ton of opportunity? Because what has to happen, I think, is guys have to make, like somebody's got to make a 7 or an 8, right? And then, but I guess my question is, how often does that happen this week? Like, is there opportunity out there to make a 6, 7, 8 and sort of bring guys behind you back into it?
Davis Riley made a big number somewhere. Well, how did he do this? He made a 9 on 14, hit his second shot in the water. I think he hit his third shot in the water too. Yeah, no, there's not. The path for Riley, or excuse me, the path for Cam Young is shoot a 63 and hope that one of the big boys doesn't shoot that would be not like another 66 or something.
Well, he's 17 right now, so he gets to 26. Yeah, yeah. I mean, even if you shoot, let's say he shoots 64, he gets to, what is that, 25? Par is kind of 69.5, right?
Could you see a scenario, a Rory Victor Sunday at St. Andrews scenario, where they're 4 shots clear, they're in kind of a match play situation, they get off to a slow start, and there's just like no momentum ever builds in that group, and then someone kind of jumps up and takes it from them?
Yeah, but the problem is, it's a little bit the same thing in terms of par at St. Andrews was 69, right? On Sunday, I think the field average was 69. Rory played, what did he shoot? 70?
Yeah, 200.
He played a below average round because he kind of played it safe, which is sort of what could happen here. But Victor didn't play. Like, the reason he played bad was because it was the old course at, like, the pressure of the old course at St. Andrews. That's not really in play here in as big of a way. So I guess what I'm saying, if you took the major and St. Andrews out of it, I don't think Victor would have shot that score, right?
So you don't think Tony Finau gets a glimpse of that round red trophy and starts to melt down on the back? You don't think he's already thinking about hoisting it out of its own holster and holding it up high?
It is one of the hilarious trophies in golf. But yeah, I don't think that sort of like outcome is in play, because there was so many external factors pressing in on those guys at the Open Championship on Sunday that won't be on Sunday at Detroit Golf Club.
I tend to agree. Odds aside, who wins?
I think Finau wins. I mean, I'll be rooting for Pendrith in my one and done, but I'll also be rooting for Finau. You know, he, like, people say this all the time, but he's among the best dudes just to like talk to about golf out there. You know, I've gotten the opportunity to do that a little bit, and he's just so amicable and kind and fun to be around in terms of just just talking about golf and playing golf. And he's very easy to root for, and I think that the level that he's playing at right now, I think he gets it done on Sunday.
I think he does too. Sorry, Tony. I hope he doesn't, but I think he does indeed get it done back to back. That would be fun. Okay. Anything else before we get out of here?
I think that's it. Go finish watching this U.S. Junior Am. Looks like it's about to be over. Kind of a blowout here at the end, but Bandon looks sweet right now with the fog coming in, and it'll be fun to watch the end of it.
All right. We'll be back after round 4, Rocket Mortgage Classic, breaking it all down, no matter who wins or how they win. But for now, Kyle Porter is available on Twitter at Kyle Porter CBS. You can find me at Rick Run Good. This has been The First Cut. We'll catch you next time.